Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it's going to be a bot I've been enjoying quite a bit lately, Sharpened Edge. Protoss bot known for generally playing ground-based styles, or at least that's the most entertaining ones. And yes, we're going to see how it does against the chaotic Mulebot, a Terran bot known for having just a ridiculous amount of strategies, which means it does give us some really exciting games, and we'll see what sort of craziness it's going to bring out to try and take down such a strong opponent as Sharpened Edge. Both these bots are quite well programmed from what I've seen. There's not a lot of times where I look at them and go, oh, gee, that was dumb or something like that. As even with Mulebot, there's usually a method to the madness, to say. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this match, make sure to go ahead, click that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot matches. And then subscribe if you haven't already. Looks like we've got Sharpened Edge going for a nice early probe scout, as it does zap away at that poor SCV, but Mulebot does have counterplay to that. Sharpened Edge can sometimes just kill bots that have that don't really have defensive behavior for their SCVs as they build things. They're like dodo birds sometimes, not Dodo the bot, but dodo birds, as if you don't have any behavior to counter simple aggression like that, you can be punished heavily. Yeah, if you guys do enjoy these daily bot matches, consider becoming a YouTube member. It goes a long way, and big thanks to those of you that do. And yes, let's see. We've got a double gateway opening from Sharpened Edge, a robo on the way, so it's probably planning some early-ish aggression. You tend not to delay your natural, although there is a little SCV from Mulebot keeping tabs on that. That is quite nice to have Mulebot just sort of looking and saying, hey, there's no nexus here, so we should probably be ready for something else. Sharpened Edge notably banking a fair bit of energy on the nexus, probably to chrono boost something out, whether it be an Immortal or a Warp Prism. Now, Mulebot behind this does have a command center going up. It got 2 racks already, so it will have decent production. We're getting concussive shells on the way. The Marauder can be very nice against such a stalker-heavy composition that Sharpened Edge will most likely go for. It generally at least builds like a core of stalkers, and then it might go hard on zealots or immortals, that kind of thing. But yeah, it usually relies on stalkers as its bread and butter, which can make it very strong, as stalkers have a lot of micro potential, but at the same time, they are not the end all. For example, against just Terran bio, they do lose out the longer the game goes on. Now, the game might not go on that long, though, as Sharpened Edge is going for a 1 base attack. It's got its 2nd Immortal on the way. Mulebot, meanwhile, sends out its 1 Marauder to actually go up and attack. That is a really expensive scout. Not just a Marine or something like that. It has sent a Marauder out to die. So, yeah, that really, really hurts. Now, let's see here, as we have got Mulebot with its natural orbital command on the way. No bunker or anything like that. It's getting up a lot of production, building more barracks, going double factory at the same time, and then getting a starport, which is maybe not the most optimal build. However, if it can get up a tank or 2, that could be very strong for defense. Meanwhile, it could also just pump a bunch of Marines, as non-upgraded Marines aren't terrible when it comes to buffering. So like if Mulebot gets up a tank and a bunch of Marines, it might just have enough supply to hold off Sharpened Edge, but that's not going to be easy because the Protoss has cut its nexus. It is committing so hard, whereas Mulebot is like, oh yeah, I'll build my, oh gosh, this is like its 7th barracks going up on 2 bases. Mulebot, I think, is living on credit card debt here, thinking it's richer than it actually is. The few Marines for Mulebot are like, yeah, let's go fight this entire Protoss army. So things are looking quite dicey. We do have 1 tank out for Mulebot, and it might be able to get some shots off, although it does need to reposition right now. The Stalkers and Immortals are shooting away. I guess the bright side is the mass amount of production will actually delay Sharpened Edge a bit. The siege tank is shooting away at the Stalkers, which are focused on the attack. They're not trying to get out of range of that tank. Another tank pops out for Mulebot, so that is going to be the makings of a good defense. Unless Sharpened Edge dives on it, we get a warp in from the blue Protoss, which is just really nice how well Sharpened Edge is programmed to use that warp prism, as it can also maybe juggle some units here. But for now, a lot of the Protoss units are just running into these siege tanks. Looks like Mulebot may lose its natural base. It is floating off to safety. This is one of my favorite features of the Red Terran, that if a base is in danger, it'll just be like, yeah, we're moving this couch. Sharpened Edge, meanwhile, still trying to push on in, but not really getting the best attack angle. As, for example, it could drop an Immortal on top of the siege tank. It does, but there's multiple tanks out, so that doesn't work out. And, yeah, Sharpened Edge's attack gets cleaned up. Tanks are king when it comes to bot matches. Looks like Mulebot is already planning a counterattack. It's got a couple of Liberators and 3 siege tanks. Its barracks are building add-ons, and now the Red Terran bot is just incredibly broke as well, as it does not have... Yeah, it's just on 1 base. Sharpened Edge at the same time is also on 1 base. Just 3 gateways, 1 robo can pretty much spend all of a 1-basing Protoss's resources. But now Sharpened Edge will have to get defensive. One of these Liberators is already bruised up. Looks like they're sieging up, but not necessarily facing the right position, as the Stalkers are coming in from the south, so the tanks are not going to be defended by these Liberators at all. Looks like the tank is trying to shoot, well, it splits its damage on some Stalkers, on an Immortal, I think, and so that is a nice cleanup for Sharpened Edge, as Defender's advantage is pretty strong, and I can't even imagine the challenge of programming like smart Liberator tank usage in a bot. Mulebot rebuilding a 2nd base, but not building it at its natural location. It's like, all right, it's time to take a 3rd, but at least it is expanding, I suppose. Sharpened Edge, I was about to say, hasn't thrown up a base, but there it goes, getting a Nexus up. So we will have a weird macro transition in this game, which I do believe favors the Protoss. Sharpened Edge has got pretty solid macro chops. Mulebot has yet to show us that it can really play like a definitive late macro game. It sometimes ends up in late games just due to the craziness it sows, but we'll see whether it can maybe build up a good enough army or... yeah, hold on against Sharpened Edge. For now, Mulebot is just continuously throwing units forward, as it likes to just have constant vision on its enemy, I suppose. We are getting a 3rd command center going up for Mulebot. I'm not sure if I'm crazy or if that is slightly further away than it should be. I can never tell in these situations if it's just like 1 hex away. I think it is. I wish as an observer we could have like a UI. Yeah, it's got to be off. Those circles are totally meant for where the bases are, and that's like 1 hex too low. We actually get a double expansion from both bots. The Sharpened Edge is like, yeah, let me get up a 3rd base. Now, Mulebot, it's getting +1 armor, but its production is really lacking. It's just spending its money getting its worker count back up, building some turrets, which does not leave a lot of money to build units. Sharpened Edge is barely building any units as well. Both of these bots are getting their economies back on track. We have Chrono Boost going down from Sharpened Edge on those Nexus, and that is, yeah, going to allow the Protoss to build up its worker count. Mulebot, though, will be dropping the mules, as it is getting these command centers up. And it looks like we will have a nice upgrade lead for the Terran as well, as it does have +1 attack on the way. I'm still a little bit concerned here, though, as Mulebot just doesn't have that much supply. It's getting 1-1, but it's got 2 Marauders. So I guess each Marauder can have one of the upgrades on it, if you were to split it like that. Now, Sharpened Edge fires up another Immortal. It's got a few sentries out. It's throwing out Hallucinated Phoenix. And yeah, both these bots just macroing up. Mulebot's like, hey, you can't take a third Nexus and be even on bases as it throws up a fourth base, but it's actually not scouting anymore. As I say that, it moves out with a single Liberator and a single tank, which is just classic Mulebot fashion for throwing units to their death. So I'm not sure how well this one's going to work out. It's going to try. The Liberator's going to siege up. I do think this would most likely be better if it did just, like, shift queue the Liberator behind a mineral line, something like that. There's a lot of potential there. The tank and Liberator actually do kill an Immortal as Sharpened Edge tries to attack that from the main base. It is having a bit of a tough time with the pathing. Zealots are trying to get towards that. So I guess there is opportunity for a single Liberator and tank to move out and succeed. Sharpened Edge has got the stuff to clean this up. It's going to cost it a lot more than it should, but this should get dealt with. Liberator gone. That means the tank has no vision and gets deleted. We have got double Thor building for Mulebot. I didn't expect that, but here we are, as it's now pumping out a decent number of Marines, building some Thors. I just hope it actually pools these units up, which is not Mulebot's strength. At some point, though, you do need to pool up your units, as sending 2 Marauders at a time is not a winning recipe. So we'll see, as Mulebot has got 1 Thor moving out, another Thor moving out, but yeah, this is making me really nervous. 2 Thors are good, but there's 2 Immortals, so I think it's fine for the Protoss. Thors do have nice range, so you never know, they might have some success, as they're actually chasing the Protoss army away. Sharpened Edge is like, I want nothing to do with this. I didn't know there was Thors. I didn't sign up for this. The Protoss, though, is taking its 4th base. Mulebot on 4 bases yet to start a 5th. Actually, Sharpened Edge starts a 5th. So Sharpened Edge slingshotting ahead in the base count. Meanwhile, Mulebot is looking to go for a little bit of an attack. It doesn't have that much of an army. We see the Thors actually stepping forward, over-microing for sure, as Thors just have such a high delay on their rate of fire that I think you pretty much just want them to sit there and shoot if they can. There is definitely such a thing as over-microing a Thor, so Mulebot not having a ton of success. Sharpened Edge is going for a counterattack. There's plenty of bases to pick from. At the same time, Mulebot I was going to say it's counterattacking. It's actually not. It's got 1 tank, and then its bio is trying to respond to this. 2 more Thors are coming forward. That might split the Protoss army up enough for Mulebot to have some success. It's got this Marine working away on a Nexus. Sharpened Edge is taking like its 7th base, something like that. The command center is in trouble. It does lift off. The bio is going for it. No stim, but they are buffering for the Thors, which I think should be able to push this section of the Protoss back. Just a couple of Thors hanging out, and now there's even a Medivac to micro them, but the Medivac neglects to save its the other Thor. It's like, nope, sorry, this is my guy. And so yeah, it looks like 1 Medivac gets assigned to 1 Thor. However, this will help their mobility. We might even get some Thor drops from Mulebot, which is just style points galore. The Protoss has got a phenomenal economy behind this, though. Mulebot on only 53 SCVs. It is getting up a 5th base, but Sharpened Edge has got a superior economy. Now, we'll see. Can 2 Thors and a Raven get some work done? Can a Thor dropping into the main base get some work done? Perhaps. It is being juggled by the Prism, and Thors are decent against Stalkers, but they are not decent against this many Stalkers. And yeah, they're not going to get a good trade at all. I'm not sure what to say about that. The Thor is now fighting a Colossi. It's just so quick to get picked up. It's like it can't complete its animation. It's really difficult to tell what's going on in that scenario. Marines trying to greet Stalkers, but all in all, I think Sharpened Edge is probably going to run away with this one, as there's just no Terran army. It's just being just a trickle of units, as is Mulebot fashion. Another Thor out there, but that goes down. There is no more Thors. We're getting stim on the way, high-sec auto-tracking, more SCVs being built, but the Terran just doesn't have the production because the economy wasn't that great for quite a while. There's Banshee, that goes down. It didn't have Cloak yet. Cloak is being researched, but that's a long way away. And yeah, I think we really needed to see Mulebot like harass. If you throw units at your opponent, I think you really need to change up the attack paths quite a bit. And like we did have 1 Marauder off to the side, but like, I don't know, drop a Thor on each mineral line, something like that. The Thor in the main did pretty good. But yeah, just if you're not going to group up your army to challenge your opponent's grouped up army, that really is your only option. Now, there is a chance Mulebot may be able to push this army away. It does have a Banshee on the way. It's got Cloak, so that could very well be enough to send the blue Protoss home. As I say that, though, an Observer rolls up, and yeah, things are not looking too hot here. A good attempt by Mulebot, but Sharpened Edge has run away with this one, I think it's safe to say. Just the economic pacing of Sharpened Edge was very good as well, taking all the bases, basically. Now, the red Protoss is pushing on in. The fact that there's an Observer means there's really no silver lining here for Mulebot. And that is pretty much it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you watched until the end of the video, click that like button as... yeah, just, I've seen enough Mulebot games to know that it doesn't really come back in this situation, guys. It's just going to trickle out units till it dies, which is unfortunate. Although there is a Thor drop being attempted, so who knows? Maybe that'll pull all of Sharpened Edge's army home. It better happen soon because the main base is in trouble. We have a fatty Thor that's stuck. Hopefully a Medivac shows up for him soon. And yeah, just units trickling out, getting killed. The Protoss Deathball is real. One hero Thor crossing the map, gonna try and save the day. Sharpened Edge is quite a good bot, though, so I imagine it's not gonna pull its whole army home due to a single Thor. One Stalker, gonna try and get it done. Thors are very good against Stalkers. And the Thor is just up, down, up, down. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. The Thor almost dies in the Medivac, and now it's going home. There is no home. This Thor is actually quite protected, being walled in. It is very cool how Thors can shoot Colossi from a distance due to them technically being air units. But yes, that is going to be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think we set a like goal, but if we can hit 100 likes, hey, that would be pretty cool. If you're still watching and you're not subscribed, welcome to the world of Starcraft bots, I suppose. Leave a comment down below saying more bots, more boats, more mules, more sharp edges, whatever it may be. And yeah, big thanks to everyone who does support the channel. Now we cue the Benny Hill theme, as Mulebot is a bot that does not like to die. This command center could not be more off position. I like how it builds it in the corner and then it floats it over, which I guess is a way to avoid detection on the command center spots. A little strange, but I will never question Sharkbot's madness because I myself fear going mad as a result. That's it. GG.